Alright, today I will demonstrate how do we draw certain shapes which are not given. If you look carefully at this place, you will realize that there are only rectangles, oval, and polystar tools. How do we draw other shapes that we need? Well, just select the rectangle tool first. If I want to draw a square, I will click and drag, but you realize that there's something wrong with my rectangle tool. How come there is a rounded corner? Basically what happened is that I have changed my rectangle option here, which you can see. I should set it to 0 actually, or I can reset back to 0 before I start drawing my rectangle shape again. Alright, let's try again. I will now try to change the color of the shape to green. Now I will click and drag on the surface, and you realize that actually I can draw rectangle as well as a square. But how do I draw a perfect square? I will have to press the shift key, after which you realize that you will go from a small square to a big square. How about a circle? You realize that when I want to draw a circle, I have to use the oval tool. When I draw an oval, you realize that when I press shift, the oval will immediately turn to a perfect circle. How do I draw a crescent? Basically, the idea of crescent is to cut a circle with a circle. What do I mean? Let me copy and paste this circle, and let me use a different color for the interior of this circle. I will change it to maybe a red color. Alright, if you look carefully, now my circle are almost the same shape. You can make it slightly bigger or smaller, depending on your personal preference. So I'll double click this and I move it into the circle that is green color. When I let go, I click outside the circle, it would assume a cut function here. So how do I get rid of this circle? I can click onto the circle and press the delete function. To keep the outline here, I will have to click the line that is outside of the circle to erase it. And you realize that now I have a crescent. Hope you have fun.